I'm going to shift gears just a little bit since we have, about 10 minutes or so left. Business, because our whole focus is where heart and mind align. So we have individuals who are everything from leading their families with love and leading their lives with love to leading their businesses with love. So if there are entrepreneurs who are listening to this and they see you as this magnificent entrepreneur who has created something that they aspire to create, what would you say to them as the mark for where they're striving to get to now that you can look back in hindsight and say, I've kind of walked this path and now let me be a guide?
Yeah, the first thing that I'll say is that most of us live with this sense of not enoughness, and not just our own self. Like I'm not enough, but I haven't accomplished enough. I haven't done enough, and we also live with this sense of like urgency of I want to be further ahead than I am. It's a resistance of reality, by the way, right? It's a sense of it's a state of delusion where I want to be where he is or she is, or I'm not as far along as I wanted to be at this stage in my life, or it's taking me longer. And one of my favorite stories, real life examples of this was when I self-published The Miracle Morning on December 12th, 2012. So that's 12, 12, 12. I picked a date that I could not forget, right? And my goal, my mission, I called it my mission, was to change 1 million lives one morning at a time. And I set a 1-year timeline. So what that meant, practically speaking, was I want to sell 1 million copies of The Miracle Morning this year, my first year, and change 1 million lives one morning at a time. And that was the reason I picked that number, is because it's just a magical big number, right? Like 1 million, I'm going to change 1 million lives. I had no basis. There was no data. I was an unknown author. I didn't have an audience. I didn't have a way to reach 1 million people. I was just like stepping out on faith. I'm going to change 1 million lives one morning at a time. And that year I did everything in my power to reach 1 million people and sell 1 million copies of The Miracle Morning. I was on 152 podcasts from zero. I had never been on a podcast, and I got on 152 podcasts by myself. I had no agents. There were no agencies back then, right? 2012. So I got on 152 podcasts. I launched my own podcast to add value and build the Miracle Morning audience. And so I did 52 of my own episodes. I gave 36 speeches around the country. I was on 12 morning TV talk shows. And I was on social media every day, engaging and adding value. I did everything in my power to sell 1 million books, Amber. And I was short of my goal by 987,000. So I sold 13,000 of the million that I was working towards. And I'm sharing this because if you can relate to that, where you're like, yeah, I've tried to achieve these results and they're not happening as fast as I want. At the end of that year, I felt discouraged, like many people would. I doubted myself. I actually did the math. If you get a calculator out and you divide 1 million divided by 13,000, it will take 77 years to reach 1 million people at that rate. And I would have been 107 years old or something like that, over 110. And so I go, man, what am I going to do? And I know that sometimes our timeline is off, right? There's like that story about how God laughs when you're making plans. He has his own timeline, something like that, right? And so I go, I'm going to try again. I'm just going to commit to do it as long as it takes. And I remember thinking maybe it'll take me 30 years to reach 1 million people, but this work is so important that I'm willing to spend the next 30 years to reach those 1 million people. Keep in mind, I wasn't making a lot of money. Right? My efforts were not paying off in the short term. So year 2, I tried again. I did everything in my power to reach 1 million people, and I sold 23,000 books. So now I'm at 30 something thousand, which, those are great if you're looking at zero. But like most humans, I wasn't measuring the gain from zero. I was measuring the gap between 1 million, right? And so I tried again year 2. I met my agent who got the Miracle Morning translated in 42 languages. It was a chance meeting. And now the book started going viral in Brazil and Korea and Spain and France and all around the world, which couldn't have planned for that in year one. But here's the moral of the story. It took me 6 years. 6 years after the Miracle Morning self-published, I sold over 1 million copies. And now it's over 3.5 million copies. And so here is the lesson for any entrepreneur listening. When you finally get to the point that you're working so hard for, and you've worked so long to get there, and it's felt like it was never going to happen, when you finally get there, which you only get there by continuing to maintain unwavering faith that you can and put forth extraordinary effort consistently, day after day after day after day, for as long as it takes. When you finally get there at that 6-year mark, I didn't wish it would have happened any sooner. Instead, you look back with hindsight and you go, oh, it had to take this long. I had to go through those challenges and meet that person in year 2 that led to that opportunity in year 3, that led to that amazing result in year 4, that led to that new relationship in year 5. Like, it had to play out the way that it did. So my final words on that are, whatever you're working for in your life right now, nothing can stop you from getting there except for you. And it will probably take longer than you think. And all you have to do is maintain unwavering faith and put forth extraordinary effort for as long as it takes until it finally happens. And when it does, it'll be the perfect timing. So right now, be at peace with where you are while you wake up with energy and passion and love, and from a spirit of service, of adding value, and enjoy every day. Because this is life. It's happening right now every day. And then you will get there. It might take you 10 years to be an overnight success. But when you get there, you'll go, oh, the timing is perfect. And thank you, God, that I had to go through everything I did, because it made me into the person that I needed to be enjoying and experiencing the life that I have now created.
You have so many moments where I just want to stand up and yes, it is so easy to think, oh, again, oh, Hal, it was so easy for him. The Miracle Morning bestseller, that it just happened for him. And there, you just said it took you 6 years. It didn't just happen for you, right? It was hard work, and it took a lot of effort and a lot of push.
Yeah. And overcoming a lot of self-doubt, right? Like, yeah, it wasn't easy. It was definitely not easy. And my wife can attest to all of that, because she was in the background cheering me on and dealing with my rejection. And I remember getting my first 1-star Amazon review, and I was like, I read it to her. I'm like, sweetie, how could they say this? Like, I work so hard on this book, and I'm trying to help people, and they're saying these horrible things about it and about me, and right. And then now, I mean, there's 33,000 reviews on the Miracle Morning book on Amazon. And it's the updated and expanded edition, by the way, for those that don't know, right? Like, this is a new edition of the book that I added 70 pages of new content last year. But of the 33,000 reviews, the average is 4.6, but there's probably 1,000, reviews that are 1, 2, 3-star reviews that are like painful to read, right? But yeah, it's all part of the journey.